a diamond was never just a jewel. Someone linked it to a forgotten vow made to the very breath of the earth beneath a midnight sky. Its facets shimmered with the weight of secrets older than time, each reflection a silent witness to a promise broken in shadow and silence. You carry the echo of that vow now, unknowingly bound by a thread spun long ago, a thread that tightens with every heartbeat. The air around you thickens as the moon trembles behind torn clouds, casting fractured light upon the diamond's cold surface. You sense it watching, an unseen sentinel waiting for the moment when the past claws its way back into the present. God says this is no ordinary relic. It holds the grief of souls betrayed and the fury of justice deferred, simmering beneath its flawless guise. The diamond whispers in silence, calling forth memories you thought lost, but that refused to die. This is a tale of betrayal woven deep into your lineage, a wound covered with fine dust, but never healed. Somewhere, someone broke a sacred trust sealed by blood and spirit. A bond so fierce it demanded eternal remembrance through this stone. Archangel Michael says the chains forged by this forgotten vow are breaking now, rattling the heavens with a warning that cannot be ignored. The silence around you vibrates with a power that bends time, urging you to look deeper into the abyss where the diamond's curse waits. You feel a cold hand graze your soul, a shadow moving just beyond the edge of sight. It is the weight of all those who suffered in silence, bound by the vow's demand for reckoning. Their voices rise like a tempest, restless and relentless, stirring the air heavy with divine conflict. The diamond's fire is not of this world. It burns with holy rage, a cleansing flame set to purge the deceit festering in your bloodline. God says the moment of awakening has arrived. The veil between now and then thins like worn silk torn by unseen fingers. You cannot hide from what has been set in motion. Each step you take echoes the footsteps of those who swore that ancient oath. They speak in tongues of flame and shadow, reminding you that justice, though delayed, is inevitable. The diamond, once silent, begins to pulse with an otherworldly light, revealing glimpses of a world tangled in lies and divine promises. In the flicker of this eerie glow, faces emerge, ghostly visages of those who stood in defiance and those who fell in betrayal. Their eyes burn with unspoken truths, and their presence weaves through your thoughts like a restless wind. Archangel Michael's voice cuts through the storm, sharp and resolute, commanding that the truth no longer be buried beneath layers of deceit. The diamond's secret is a blade honed by centuries, ready to slice through falsehood and bring what was hidden into the harsh light of day. The ground beneath you shudders as the weight of history presses down, a force both crushing and liberating. You stand at the crossroads of past and future, the forgotten vow, now a living force demanding reckoning. The diamond is no longer just an object of beauty. It is a beacon, a warning, a catalyst for the battle that will unfold in the quiet chambers of your heart and beyond. Beneath the tremulous moonlight, the first crack appears, a fracture not in the stone, but in the fabric of a long-held illusion. The truth seeps through like molten silver, burning away the lies that once cloaked the vow in shadows. You feel it within you, a rising flame of clarity and fierce determination to face what has been concealed. God says this is your moment of destiny, the awakening of a power bound not by jewel or gold, but by the righteousness of divine justice. The night air sharpens with the scent of impending change, as if the heavens themselves hold their breath. The diamond's facets catch the light again, each flash a message, each glint a promise of transformation. Archangel Michael says the battle is not yet won, but the scales have begun to tip. You are no longer a silent witness, but a chosen bearer of truth, tasked with unraveling the tangled threads of betrayal and reclaiming the sacred honor lost to darkness. Feel the pulse beneath your skin, the ancient rhythm syncing with your own heartbeat. The diamond's story is now your own, etched deep into your spirit, like a map leading through fire and shadow toward redemption. The forgotten vow no longer binds you in chains. It calls you to rise and break the cycle of pain. This is the dawn of reckoning, where the past's heavy shadow meets the fierce light of justice waiting to be unleashed. The diamond's fire burns not with warmth, but with a cold, searing intensity that scorches the edges of your soul. Beneath its surface lies a secret forged in flame, an inferno of betrayal and justice tangled so tightly that the heat of it threatens to consume all who dare approach. The jewel's glow pulses like a heartbeat, a rhythm that mirrors the smoldering truth clawing to be revealed in the depths of your being. You stand amid ashes stirred by winds that carry voices long silenced, whispers of a forgotten reckoning that refuses to rest. God says the flames behind this jewel are not of mortal origin. They blaze with divine fury, aimed at those who hid behind masks of loyalty, while stabbing hearts in the dark. Every spark is a fragment of broken promises, a shard of shattered faith, igniting the path toward inevitable confrontation. The night shivers as the diamond's light fractures into 1,000 shards, each a burning testament to the lies woven around you. Archangel Michael says the flames you see are the first sign of the purge to come, a cleansing fire destined to burn away deception and reveal the scorched bones beneath. The air crackles with electric tension, heavy with the scent of smoke and the promise of unyielding judgment. Within this blaze, faces emerge, familiar yet warped by the fire's harsh glow, those who betrayed the sacred trust without remorse. Their eyes flicker like dying embers, hollow and haunted. As the diamond's flames expose every hidden wound inflicted by their treachery, you feel the weight of their guilt pressing against your chest, a suffocating heat that urges you to confront the pain they left smoldering inside. God says that behind every flicker of flame lies a choice, to be consumed by the fire of wrath, or to forge from it a strength that cannot be broken. The diamond does not punish indiscriminately. It is a blade wielded by divine will to cut through shadows and reclaim what was stolen. The fire you see is both a warning and a beacon urging you to walk through the inferno unflinching. For only through the flames can true justice be found. The world around you distorts as the diamond's fire dances wildly, casting grotesque shadows that twist and writhe with the faces of those who hide their sins behind false smiles. The moon trembles again, veiled by smoke swirling like spirits rising from a pyre. Archangel Michael's voice booms through the haze, a command to stand firm amid the raging inferno and not let the flames devour your hope. You feel the heat lick at your skin, a searing reminder that this is no ordinary trial, but a divine crucible designed to test the very core of your faith and resolve. The flames behind the jewel demand your courage, your truth, and your willingness to face the harshest realities without flinching. God says that the fire's fury is the cleansing breath of heaven, meant to purge the rot beneath the surface and prepare the way for rebirth. As the flames flare higher, you sense a shift in the air, a crackle of energy that hums with the power of transformation. The diamond's fire is a living force, consuming the old to make way for the new, burning away the lies that have poisoned your lineage for generations. Archangel Michael says that this blaze is a call to arms for your spirit, a summons to rise from the ashes stronger, wiser, and unyielding. The inferno reveals a path etched in molten light, a trail forged through pain and redemption alike. The diamond's flame scorches away doubt and fear, leaving behind a hardened core ready to face the divine reckoning waiting just beyond the horizon. You stand at the edge of this firestorm, your breath steady despite the heat, knowing that what lies ahead will change everything. Beneath the flickering blaze, the diamond's glow pulses with a fierce promise that the flames behind it will not consume you, but refine you into a vessel of divine justice. The night darkens around you, but within the fire's heart, a new light burns bright, guiding you forward through the chaos and into the clarity of truth revealed. God says this fire is your inheritance, a sacred flame that cannot be extinguished by betrayal or fear. The smoke begins to clear, revealing the diamond's full brilliance, flawless yet fierce, beautiful yet dangerous. Archangel Michael says, the flames behind the jewel have spoken. Now it is your turn to listen, to act, and to claim the power born from the sacred fire. The battle is just beginning, but the spark of victory kindles in your soul, ready to ignite the dawn. The moon trembled behind torn clouds, its silver light fractured into shards of cold fire that spilled across the night like scattered promises. The sky itself seemed to pulse with a restless energy, an unseen storm rising beyond the edge of vision. You stand beneath this trembling light, feeling the weight of unseen eyes and the sharp edge of truth's long buried clawing their way into the open. God says the heavens have been unsettled by the breaking of sacred bonds, the shattering of trust etched deep into the fabric of time. This celestial unrest mirrors the turmoil within your own soul, where shadows writhe beneath the surface, demanding reckoning. The diamond you bear is no longer a silent witness, but a beacon, drawing the gaze of forces, both merciful and merciless. Archangel Michael says the sword of divine judgment now flashes through the darkness, cutting through veils of deceit with a clarity that burns. Each stroke reveals fractures in the foundations of falsehood, exposing wounds inflicted by those once deemed closest to your heart. The trembling moonlight fractures these lies, casting them into stark relief where they cannot hide. Around you, the air crackles with tension as the celestial battle unfolds. A war fought not with mortal weapons, but with the fierce light of truth and the heavy shadow of betrayal. You sense the presence of ancient warriors cloaked in light, their wings spanning the horizon, poised to strike down injustice wherever it festers. The diamond pulses in your hand, alive with the power of this divine conflict. God says this moment is a threshold, a portal where past and future collide in a storm of cosmic consequence. The tremble in the moon's glow is the first breath of upheaval, a signal that no darkness can withstand the light forever. Your spirit stands at the center of this tempest, both battleground and sanctuary, where every choice reverberates through eternity. The night air grows thick with visions, ghostly echoes of promises broken, alliances shattered, and the cold sting of abandonment. Faces flicker like specters in the moonlight, their eyes reflecting regret and fury in equal measure. Archangel Michael's voice cuts through the chaos, steady and commanding, calling you to stand firm in the eye of the storm, to wield the diamond's light as both shield and sword. You feel the trembling of the moon within your own chest, a rhythm that quickens with the rising tide of conflict and revelation. The diamond's facets catch the celestial fire, scattering prisms of divine power that ripple through the shadows. God says that this trembling is the awakening of ancient forces aligned with justice, forces ready to unmake the lies and restore the sacred balance. Beneath the quivering moon, time seems to warp and bend, memories folding in on themselves like a labyrinth with no exit. You navigate this maze with a clarity born of pain and purpose, each step bringing you closer to the heart of the divine reckoning. The diamond's glow intensifies, a lighthouse piercing through the fog of betrayal and despair. Archangel Michael says the tremble in the moonlight is a herald of transformation, a call to rise beyond the wounds of the past and claim the strength granted by divine grace. The night's stillness breaks with the clash of celestial forces, a symphony of light and shadow that will reshape the path before you. You are both witness and warrior in this sacred upheaval. The trembling moon begins to steady, but the echoes of its unrest linger in the air, a promise that the coming dawn will bring revelations that cannot be undone. God says the diamond's true power lies not in its brilliance, but in its ability to channel the fierce light of justice through your hands. The moment of truth has arrived, and the heavens watch with bated breath. In this fractured light, you find your resolve hardened like the diamond itself, unbreakable, radiant, and poised to carve a new destiny from the ruins of betrayal. The moon's tremble is the final warning before the storm breaks, the last flicker of shadow before the dawn of divine reckoning. Beneath the weight of silence, a vow long buried begins to stir, its ancient threads unraveling with a soft but relentless pull. The diamond in your grasp hums with a quiet urgency, its depths revealing a hidden covenant forged beyond time's reach. Shadows twist and curl around this forgotten promise, a binding oath whispered once in sacred halls, now veiled by dust and deceit. God says this vow is the heartbeat beneath your lineage, a sacred charge entrusted to those willing to bear its burden without falter. It was made in moments when light and shadow danced in fragile balance, when trust was more precious than breath, and betrayal was a poison yet to seep into the veins of the world. Now, as the vow awakens, its power surges like a tide breaking through barriers built by mortal forgetfulness. Archangel Michael says the forgotten vow calls to you, its voice a clarion through the storms of doubt and despair. It summons the strength to face those who would deny their role in this ancient pact, those who would hide behind lies to escape the reckoning written in the stars. The diamond pulses with the weight of this calling, a divine emblem charged with the fury of justice long deferred. The night holds its breath as the vow stirs, stirring winds that carry the scent of earth and flame, a mixture both familiar and fierce. You feel the ancient covenant coil within you, tightening its grip with each heartbeat, a tether that cannot be severed by time or treachery. The moon's light washes over the diamond, igniting its facets in a blaze of revelation and resolve. God says the vow's awakening is not a punishment but a restoration, a calling to reclaim what was lost and to heal the fractures inflicted by betrayal. It demands truth and courage in equal measure, a willingness to face the darkness within and beyond. The diamond's fire is the spark that ignites this reckoning, illuminating the path from shadow to redemption. Faces emerge from the swirling mist, guardians of the vow who stand at the edges of memory and myth, their eyes blazing with fierce loyalty and sorrow. Archangel Michael's voice rings out, a battle hymn that stirs your soul to rise and claim the mantle bestowed by this sacred promise. The diamond's light flares, a beacon to those lost in the wilderness of lies and betrayal. Within this unfolding revelation, you sense the threads of destiny weaving anew, binding the past to the present with golden strands of purpose. The forgotten vow reaches through the ages, touching the hearts of those who would honor it and shaking the foundations of those who would deny it. God says this is a moment of divine convergence, where justice and mercy intertwine in a dance as old as time. The diamond's glow grows steady, a steady pulse that beats in rhythm with the vow's awakening call. You feel the power of this ancient promise coursing through your veins, a reservoir of strength to face the trials ahead. The night air shimmers with anticipation, charged by the knowledge that this vow, once hidden, now commands the forces of light and shadow to realign. Archangel Michael says that to honor this vow is to become a beacon in the darkness, a living testament to the power of faith and truth. The diamond you carry is the seal of this sacred charge, a symbol that the ancient promise lives on in you, unbroken and unyielding. The forgotten vow awakens, not as a ghost of the past, but as a living flame, guiding your steps through the coming storm. The sky pulses with quiet thunder, a herald of change rippling through the cosmos. God says this awakening is the turning point, a moment when the scales of justice begin to tip, when the darkness is drawn back to reveal the dawn waiting to break. The diamond's light burns clear and bright, a promise that no betrayal, no shadow can extinguish the power of a vow kept. As the vow stirs, you feel your soul aligned with something greater, a force that moves beyond human understanding yet touches every corner of your being. The forgotten vow has awoken, and with it, the promise of redemption and transformation shines like a beacon in the encroaching night. The sky is no longer silent. It groans with tension, as if creation itself is being torn open to make way for something final. The clouds stretch thin, like veils about to be ripped away. And in the distance, thunder rolls, not with rage, but with solemnity, as though a divine verdict has been whispered across the heavens. God says the time for deliberation has passed. The decision, long delayed by mercy, compassion, and divine patience, has now been carved into the foundation of the spiritual realm. There will be no reversal, no appeal, only what has been decided by the highest order of divine authority. Archangel Michael says your name was spoken aloud in the halls of divine justice, and the diamond served as your witness, defender, and key. It gleamed with the truth of your suffering, the weight of your restraint, and the purity of your original vow. The light it emitted pierced even the darkest resistance, leaving the verdict irrefutable. You stand now not as a seeker, but as a vessel marked by the final decree, chosen not just to survive the storms, but to rise as a divine emblem of restoration. The heavens above part ever so slightly, and a golden beam breaks through, casting warmth upon your face and shoulders. It is not the light of comfort, but the light of reckoning, a gentle, burning light that awakens everything buried. God says those who turned against you in secret have been unmasked. Their names are known, their intentions recorded, and their consequences already set into motion. They will face not your revenge, but divine rebalancing, a sacred act that returns what was stolen, lifts what was pushed down, and silences what once deceived. The diamond now belongs fully to you, not just as a jewel, but as an inheritance. It pulses with new energy, infused with the resolution of the final decision. Its glow no longer seeks justice, for justice has been served. It now prepares to guide your transformation. Archangel Michael says, there are beings dispatched now, cloaked in divine flame, not to protect you but to clear the path that was promised to you. Their wings will not rest until every last obstruction is uprooted and every false structure collapses. The diamond flashes in your palm with each step you take, calling these forces closer, drawing them toward your future. Time itself begins to change around you. It feels thinner, closer, more flexible, as if the rules that once held you down are beginning to unspool. in your favor. The divine decision has not only changed your outcome, it has changed the laws that governed your delay, your pain, your loss. God says the silence you endured was not weakness. It was power. It was the sound of heaven listening, of angels recording, of timelines bending toward your defense. That silence is now over, and in its place comes the echo of your ascension. Your footsteps sound different now. The ground beneath you responds with life and agreement, as though all things made by divine will now recognize you as one set apart. The diamond hums with purpose, spinning slowly in your hand before embedding itself deeper into your spirit. It is no longer carried. It is now part of who you are. Archangel Michael says this transformation will come in waves, sudden breaks of light, unexpected reversals, astonishing revelations. It will seem like the world is changing in your favor by accident, but nothing will be accidental. The divine hand now moves openly, without restraint, and then stillness. The winds fall silent. The air stands still. Everything around you seems to hold its breath. The verdict has reached its endpoint, and the last veil is drawn away. You see now, with piercing clarity, that what felt like delay was divine timing, that what felt like abandonment was preparation, and that what felt like heartbreak was a severing for your protection. God says the final decision has unsealed what was locked. Your blessing is no longer pending, it is active. The vow that birthed it is complete. You are no longer the person who waited. You are now the one chosen to walk forward. And as you do, the earth itself shifts beneath your steps, not in rebellion, but in reverence.